The first one, well, second instance she micro-cheated, was when she brought one of her guy friend home for lunch. A close friend of her told me how they saw Chi and that guy walking together going to her home for lunch after school. Take note that this guy was not his ex. It was a different guy. I asked this friend of hers to just observe them for the time being because I didn't want to jump into conclusions. It was only when their teacher contacted me about how they see her with the same guy for almost every day during lunch and asked if we are still okay. I said that I will look into it and thanked her for watching her out for me. I confronted her about it as she argued that there was nothing wrong with it since she was just helping this guy friend out. I said that it was wrong in so many ways. She can't just bring a guy home every day and expect nothing wrong. I asked her if I did the same, how will she feel? She then eventually told me she will stop interacting altogether to the guy, and she says that she'll just stop interacting with anyone else altogether since I didn't want to. She says that she's worried about what I said, that what if I also bring a girl home for lunch, and made me promise not to talk to anyone else in school as she's worried. Really unreasonable thing to do, especially how she was the one who did it. It was a long argument, but I eventually forgave her. Now take note that this "you can't interact with other people" rule will still be in effect throughout my college days, which is unreasonable as it made my studying and social life much, much worse. But I still agreed to it if it means she won't do what she did anymore. We got into a fight again, which leads us to another instance of cheating. Hurted by the first one and now the second one, I decided to think things through again after our fight. I said that I needed time because I was so hurt, and that I needed space to think about things. She would beg me for days until I eventually gave up and just forgive her. She says that she misses me so much and that she will be a better person again. I fell for those words, not until a friend of hers messaged me again saying that the past few days, when we got into a fight, she was rather very close in school to someone, and they wondered what's up. Them being close to the guy, the one she was close with, and mind you, this was yet another guy, messaged the guy and asked if something was up with them. They then showed me the conversation with the guy, as well as a picture of him with Chi together in a cafe near the school. The picture really got me upset, but the conversation was even more concerning. Apparently, the guy confessed to Chi, and Chi actually gave the guy permission to court her while we are still in a relationship. Having those evidences in my hand, I decided to confront Chi and never told her friend to see if what they provide me was also true and that to see if they are really doing this out of concern or not. We got into another big fight, and she argued that she did that because she thought I don't love her anymore, which is unreasonable as I never really said we should break up. But even so, we had a fight, and she was already allowing someone to talk to her like that and court her. She then talked to me about how I was at fault and that if I never should have let her go, she wouldn't have talked to that guy in the first place. Yes, a manipulation and projection at play here. But I'm an idiot. How still have my rose-tinted glasses, and was still so in love with her. So I took it and forgave her again for another time and continued our relationship. As time went on, I really started to feel as if I'm just being used. I got many advices from teachers who I don't even vent out my feelings to them anyway, but they do see what she was really doing in my absence. They are concerned, but I just dismissed everything because, well, I was still in love. She fights with my classmates just because I was asked to collect payments for an upcoming event. She would ask me to block my relatives, who would just ask me questions and didn't allow me to talk to them, virtually and personally. She even asked me to block my old friends, which they understood, but let me off with a warning. I let myself be controlled by her, under the context that we really just love each other. The more recent instance of micro-cheating was during their immersion. It was some sort of a mandatory thing in school, how they will be deployed and experience firsthand the work environment related to their strand. Now, many schools were in this immersion, so I expected her to meet few people there. Remember that until this time, she still doesn't allow me to talk to other students in my school, monitoring my account, and will fight me even if I just have a classmate asking for notes or the schedule, etc. I was eventually told once again by one of her friends about how she is close, once again, with a fellow student there, and sent a picture of them close together. When I went home and met her, I still didn't told her, however. While we're together, I checked her phone, and there I saw a picture of Chi together with a guy, the same guy that her friend told me before. Mind you that this was yet another guy, different from the previous guys. That's when I confronted her again. She says that it was just a friend from the immersion and that nothing was going on. I chose to believe her in the end, but I just expressed my feelings of how she didn't want me to talk to my classmates, let alone even take pictures with them, which she did. I told her how she breaks her own rules and expected me, who endured the difficult life in college of being isolated just because she told me to be okay with it. She said that it was just nothing, but I really felt hurt seeing how she was with a guy in those pictures. I was really hurt and really don't know how to react anymore. Because of all these, my academic performance were also affected. But I was just doing these things for her. As usual, I forgave her for the whole thing. She made me block the friend who told me, saying that that friend was just jealous of us. To which I did, and we continued our relationship. After our first year anniversary, everything just went downhill. The final instance of cheating she did was when we are happily chatting and flirting with each other, and she just suddenly stopped replying. Curious, I opened her account, and there I saw her talking to another guy and having flirtatious conversation. Again, another guy, different from the guys before. And I just snapped. I confronted her about it. I was furious. I let out everything. I brought up breaking up with her as I can't do this anymore. Everything that happened in the past, all the pain I endured, just came back and filled my heart with all sorts of emotions. It all boiled down to me asking for space, and she agreed. Friday during that, she was still begging me to not leave her. Friday night, she stopped responding to my messages altogether, and Saturday morning, she told me we should break up. I began moving on. I started by unblocking people, friends, and relatives on social media. It was not long until questions poured in about our relationship. But one thing really stuck to me. Her closest friend, which we will just call Joyce, told me everything about how they wanted to tell me how she was just playing with me as she gets close to guys and how she was with anyone else. About how she will always play the victim whenever we fight. About how she will turn the story around, manipulate it in order for it to be more favorable to her. And most of all, about how on Saturday, the day of our breakup, she brought someone home. And that someone was the guy she was chatting with. The day of our breakup, and she was already having someone. Yet she accuses me of cheating, of how cheating was the reason we broke up. But the real reason was her attitude, and I just can't do it anymore. Just today, I accidentally opened up her TikTok account as it was still logged in on my phone. I don't really use TikTok that much, but I just opened it to pass some time. There I saw a video she uploaded. It was about her boyfriend, the one she was chatting to. I felt dismayed. I feel heavy. Here I am being accused of cheating from her posts. Yet it is hard for me to move on. And there she is, already with someone. I am no longer confident with myself. I feel like I was used. I let myself be manipulated, controlled. I loved her so much so that I still forgave her after going through all that because I accepted her. Now I just came into conclusion that she never really loved the me, my very person. All she really wanted was the presence of someone. My presence. But even so, it doesn't have to be me. She just wanted the presence of someone, not who they are.